Hi, and welcome back to the lecture on how to conduct research using survey. So, before the break, we have covered the advantages and disadvantages of using survey as your method, and we also discussed about type of surveys, including I asked you to watch a video by a Harvard researcher who have done this survey for more than 75 years. And thank you for all of you who participated in answering the lecture chat questions. And I want you to know that, in my opinion, that the survey that he did was a cross-like survey because he was able to make this conclusion at the end about what basically create this idea of happiness among these people who he surveyed for 75 years. Now that we have covered that part, I want to move on and discuss about the writing and formatting questions. So, since we know that you are going to design your own survey for this second and last method project, so I would like to basically talk about what are the challenges that you will face when you start writing and formatting your own questions, as well as what type of formats that are available for you to design your own survey. So let's start with the first one. Most surveys seek to find out four things about respondents. So they would like to have the demographic data, ask about age, gender, religion, income, marital status. I would suggest that for this project, you would only focusing on age and gender because unless you're focusing on issues about media and religion or media and relationship, for instance, I don't see the reason why you also want to ask about religion, income, or marital status. And then the second things that most people who design survey want to know is the respondents' knowledge of an issue, their attitude towards a certain issue, as well as their behavior toward the issue. So, for instance, if you design a survey to talk about the habit of watching Netflix or other online screening platform that people are using in this stay-at-home order period, then may want to know whether they are knowledgeable about these online screening platforms, what are their attitudes toward that issue, and what are the behavior towards the issue. So do they participate in watching Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and all that? Or do they try to avoid watching them and stay productive by doing something else? It can be a good idea for your topic for your second and last research project. All right, now let's talk about the writing and formatting questions. The first one is open-ended questions. These questions are generally avoided in survey research because they are time-consuming to code and analyze relative to multiple choice and scaled questions. So if you ask, tell me the reason why you decide to watch more Netflix during this period, for instance, then one person's answer and another person's answer may be different, and it can be tricky and time consuming for you to code their answers. So it's much easier. And if we go back to the advantages of doing a survey, the reason why we do this is because we want to get a fast response, something that we can analyze the response quickly. So the open-ended question, I would suggest you to do that for the people who you're going to interview. So try to avoid asking open-ended questions just because I don't want to make your life difficult. Yeah. So researchers can find the most frequent word occurrences or search for specific word or word combination they are interested in open-ended questions. But essentially, this becomes an exercise in content analysis. So it's much better instead of asking open-ended questions in your survey that you actually hold on to that and ask that in your interview section. All right. And then the second one is the dichotomous question. So these questions force respondents to select one of two possible answers. This format has the advantage of simplifying data coding and analysis. It's easier because you just have yes or no, for instance. The problem is that life is rarely as simple as saying yes or no. So if there will be more than two possible responses to a question, other formats such as the multiple choice questions and scaled questions become more appropriate for a survey. And that is why you see this multiple choice questions or scaled questions become things that a lot of scholars prefer to do in their survey, because the respondents are not forced to just choose out of two possible options, yes or no. The next one is multiple choice questions. So multiple choice questions provide respondents with several possible answers. And depending on the precise questions formats, you can ask them to select one or more answer or to rank order them. So you can have this comment of, well, not comment, note on please check one option or please check as many answers as apply. For instance, how many online screening services are you subscribing to? And then you have the option of Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Apple TV, and so on. And people can check on all the boxes that are applied to them. And then you can also ask them to please rank order your choices by writing 1 after your first choice, 2 after your second choice, and so on. And you can ask this for instance, how do they view the frequency of them watching this movies or TV series using this online screening platform. Which of these online screening platforms do they use the most? They can rank them. For instance, number 1 is Hulu, I don't know. Number 2 is Netflix. Number 3 is Amazon Prime, and so on. Oh, by the way, when I talk about Amazon Prime, I meant Amazon Prime Video. Okay, I hope you get the idea of what I meant by multiple choice questions. And then the next format is Likert scale. So the scales are statements with which respondents are asked to locate their level of agreement somewhere between strongly agree and strongly disagree on a 5-point scale. For instance, on a scale of 1 to 5, how likely are you to watch a movie or a TV series today? 1 becomes not likely at all, and 5 becomes very likely. And then you have 2, 3, 4 in between that. You also have the semantic differential scale. Oh, that's a mouthful. So these scales present a topic, object, or concept, followed by scales anchored at each end by adjectives that have opposite meanings. So respondents express their opinion of that topic by marking their positions between these word pairs. I encourage you to actually open up your textbook and read on this one. This is interesting. I know that not many people are using it, but if it's in line with what you're interested in, this may be a good way to format your questions. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stop this part of the lecture, and then I'm going to continue with the third part. And at the end of the third part, you will see lecture check questions. So please watch Part 2 and Part 3 and participate in answering the lecture check questions on the discussion forum. Thank you.